welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to cook. We're going to cook some barbecue country style pork ribs. Now, this is not a Weight Watchers friendly recipe. It's pretty sure it's not a calorie friendly recipe. It's not a carb friendly recipe just from the barbecue sauce. But it's a comfort food friendly recipe. I don't think, and mine is not going to, life revolves around Weight Watchers. Sometimes I've got to have some things from my past come into my present just so I don't forget that. And if that happens to be food, then it happens to be food. I've said it how many times before, just because we're on a weight loss journey doesn't mean everything has to be about weight loss. We still have to live our life while we're losing weight. We still have a quality of life that has to be carried on while we're trying to lose weight. And if that is a comfort food, then it's a comfort food. And that's what tonight is. And I thought, well, I'll just show you. This is barbecue sauce made with, if you watched my haul, you may not have, it's Damson Plum Jam. Back probably 25 years ago, I had made some Damson Plum Jam. Well, it didn't set up. It was runny. And I didn't want to waste it. So I thought, what can I do? I'll try to make a barbecue sauce. And it became our favorite barbecue sauce. David's like, don't ever buy it from the store again. Well, that lasted as long as my jam lasted. And then I had to try to use substitutes because dams and plums are not something that are easily or readily available. I don't know if they're a southern thing. I'm not sure. But I grew up with them. They're just a smaller tart plum. Well, over the years, I substituted like blackberry, red currant, black currant. I think I've done raspberry. Don't try grape. Grape does not. I didn't like grape at all. None of them are exactly the same. So if you tried any of those because you couldn't find damsons, it's not going to taste exactly the same as mine, but it still would make a good barbecue sauce when you start your base with a jelly or a jam. Now, if you use anything, and with this, I know it's sweeter than what I made, so I taste it, and if it needs it, I'll give it a splash of vinegar to give it a little bit more of that tart flavor. So what I thought I would do, I would show you what I made the barbecue sauce for. I made it specifically to put on the country ribs. And this is our favorite way to eat them. So I thought I would just show you how I make them. And you can substitute any barbecue sauce you want. It doesn't have to be even homemade. Any barbecue sauce you like, you can substitute. So, with all that being said, let's eat, y'all. We're going to start our barbecue sauce first. This is what I'm using. Damson Plum Jam. This is a North Carolina company too, by the way. Oh, maybe I should have opened that. Now, see, this is more like a jelly. Mine was runny. So we need to, I'm going to put this over here. We need to melt it first. Okay. Now, while that is melting, I'm going to slide you over here. Hold on. We need almost as much ketchup as we have jam. Okay, that one's just not going to work. And I always just use whatever jar the jam came in. So I'm going to fill it almost to the top, or as much as jelly as there was. Okay, I gave it that much ketchup. We're going to stir this jelly around. See, to me, this is more like a jelly than a jam. To me, a jam has fruit in it. I think I had that too high. Okay, we pretty well got this nice and smooth. And it's starting to come up to the boil. I might need to turn that down. We're going to pour in our ketchup and I'll try to get it all out. did pretty good. If you ever have, it's called mayo knife. I don't know if they even still make it. I don't know how long I've had it, but it works to scrape out the inside of any jar. So if you ever find one, I would get it. I use it for everything. So hold on, let me move it out of the way. So let's just blend our ketchup and jelly together. Okay, I'm going to bring it over here to put everything else in it so you can see everything together instead of me just trying to bring everything over this way. So hang on a minute. Okay, I have got a mess back here because this takes a lot of stuff. When I made this up, I put like everything but the kitchen sink. So we need a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. A 1/4 teaspoon liquid smoke. I'm using, let's see, what am I using today? Mesquite. I have like 3 or 4 flavors. You just pick whichever one you like. But don't go more than a 1/4 because liquid smoke will take something over. Easy. Now the rest of this is a teaspoon of everything. So we got a teaspoon of beef bouillon powder. Oh, this is brand new. Hold on. No. Hold on. I think I got another one. This one actually, it's only a teaspoon. This particular brand uses 2 teaspoons per cup of water. So, teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of chili powder, I'll get to this last, teaspoon of paprika, teaspoon of dry mustard, and then finally a teaspoon of my steak spice. That is something I came up with probably 25 years ago. I will put the recipe on my website if you're interested. It's something I came up with to put on steak, and I just use it for different things. This is one of the ingredients. Everglades seasoning. I will try to find some on Amazon and put it in my Amazon store. Many years ago, a client of ours used to visit Florida, and she would bring us some of this back in like little baggies. She would buy a big thing, and she'd bring me and my best friend some back, like a little baggie full. Well, then they started selling it up here. Sometimes you can find it in the stores. I found this big bottle at my farmer's market. I've not seen it in there lately, so they quit selling it. But I'm pretty sure you could order it somewhere. But this is one of the main ingredients. So then we want to stir all this together, and I won't bring you back to the stove, but just know when I get it stirred together, I'm going to taste it, and I will let you know if I need a splash of vinegar or not. So hold on while I do this. Oh no, it's perfect like it is. Oh boy. Oh, I have missed that. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff right there. Now, I'm going to put this over here to simmer 5 minutes. That's all it needs. While it's simmering, I'm going to clean this mess up, and then I'll show you how we put together our ribs. Okay, now you just need a big casserole that has a lid. You can tell this one is well used. My mama bought me and David this for our wedding when we got married, and we've been married 28 years. So this thing has seen a lot of ribs. Makes a good roast too. It's the Corningware, I don't know what, it's Corningware something. So anyway, what I have back here is either use one like big large onion. I had 2 small ones because none of mine were big, and just cut them into rings. Here are your country ribs in case you're not familiar with them. And it's nothing more than a pork butt roast cut into strips. That's all it is. It's not a rib. It's nowhere near the rib. And they're usually always bone in. So what I do, well, first I'm going to put some, and I sprayed my dish. I'm going to put some onions on the bottom. Then these ribs are awful big, so I like to cut them in half, and it's just easier to use your kitchen scissors. But see, and I do not cut off the fat. I leave it because that's where you get your flavor. See, I'm cutting around a bone. If you notice, I'm touching raw meat. Pork doesn't bother me. It's just something about chicken and raw hamburger. And just lay these in here. Try not to lay them on top of each other if you don't have to. Then put the rest of the onions on the top. You can do more onions too. I mean, to me, there's no such thing as too much. Now let me wash my hands right quick. Okay, now we just want to pour all our sauce over. And your pork will let off a lot of liquid, so it's going to thin out the barbecue sauce, but that's okay. It will still be delicious. Let's try to get it down in there. Now cover it. Bake it at 350 for a couple hours. It's going to take a couple hours at least. This is something we like to make when it's cold, because you can run the heat, the oven inside, not worry about heating up the house too much. But since I found the jam, I couldn't wait. So that's why we're doing it in the summer. Anyway, I'll see you back in, I don't know, 2.5 hours, something like that. Just keep a check on it. And when it's so tender that a baby could chew it, it's ready. Okay, here they are. Let's see. 2 hours and 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. And you can see, well, if I can pick it up. See how it's falling apart? That's what you want right there. So these are ready, and you can see what I mean, how it made a lot more sauce because of the liquid coming from the ribs. Now if you were so inclined, you could drain it and ball it down if you wanted to. I've just never done it. We just eat them like this. Now this is when you can pick your fat off. You don't have to eat that fat, obviously, so just pick your fat off and discard it and eat the lean part. So there you have it. That is my barbecue country style pork ribs. If you try it, I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you on my next video.